This week's MMA News Recap. Former UFC heavyweight champion and MMA legend Kevin Randleman has passed away at the age of 44. In his last interview, he said, "I hope my son doesn't pursue MMA." There are rumours that if Conor McGregor beats Rafael Dos Anjos, that he is going to push for a fight with UFC Welterweight champion Robbie Lawler at UFC 200 in July. Conor McGregor's coach, John Kavanagh, said if he chose to fight Robbie Lawler for the welterweight title, he would 100% support him. Conor McGregor faces Rafael Dos Anjos at UFC 196 for the lightweight championship. Former UFC middleweight champion Silva and Michael Bisping got into a confrontation at the open workouts. This is what happened.
Hold your life on steroids. Hold your life. I think those. Entire life. Hey, does it work? Can you get in the right? Yes. Can you get in the right? Okay. Oh, well, let's go. I'll see that, my friend. Yes. I'll see that. I'll see that. Good luck. I see you on them. Right? I didn't need luck. Okay. I see you on them. Bye, sweetheart. Hey. Love you, man. I can't wait.
Rafael Dos Anjos said on the MMA Hour that he is going to break Conor McGregor. Here's what he had to say.
No, I don't see how this guy can beat me, but a prediction: this fight will not be 5 rounds. It's gonna be maybe 3 or 2 rounds. This guy, he's not gonna be able to handle me for more than 2 rounds. You know, he's gonna break like a girl.
Rafael Dos Anjos also said that Anthony Pettis, Benson Henderson and Donald Cerrone are better fighters than Conor McGregor. He also said, "I want to thank Dana White and Lorenzo for finally giving me an easy fight." CM Punk's UFC debut will be delayed as he has been scheduled to undergo back surgery in Chicago on Wednesday due to a herniated disc. He said, "This is just a bump in the road. I'm positive about this." Former UFC women's bantamweight champion Ronda Rousey is back in the gym for the first time after her devastating loss against Holly Holm. She will likely get the winner of Holly Holm versus Miesha Tate later this year. Former UFC light heavyweight champion John Jones was caught driving without a license, registration and insurance and is set to appear in court later this week. Featherweight contender Max Holloway says he wouldn't mind fighting former UFC featherweight champion Jose Aldo for an interim title. Max Holloway is currently on an 8-fight winning streak and is currently recovering from a thumb injury. There are rumours that Ronaldo Jacare Souza versus Vitor Belfort won't be a 5-round fight anymore, as the card is being moved to pay-per-view, and the rumoured main event is UFC heavyweight champion Fabricio Werdum facing Stipe Miocic. It will likely be changed from UFC Fight Night to UFC 198. The UFC has announced Ben Rothwell will face former UFC heavyweight champion Junior Dos Santos in the main event of UFC Fight Night Zagreb, Croatia on April 10. Aljamain Sterling says he's received multiple contract offers from different MMA organizations and will announce on Monday who he is signing with. Yoel Romero's manager Malky Kawa said that Yoel Romero failed his UFC drug test due to a tainted supplement. Yoel Romero faced Jacare Souza at UFC 194 and won by split decision. He was rumoured to fight for the UFC middleweight title until he failed his drug test. Nick Lentz created a GoFundMe page to help BJ Penn pay his debts he owes to Mike Dolce for helping him get down to 145 for his third fight against Frankie Edgar. Miesha Tate believes that she is a huge step up in competition for current women's UFC bantamweight champion Holly Holm. She said, "I'm not like Ronda at all in my fighting style. I present different challenges and I have a lot more ring experience and I've been battle tested. I'm definitely a battle tested veteran. I know I can take a punch to give a punch and I don't fear the clock." Tito Ortiz wants a warm-up fight with Kimbo Slice and then wants Fedor Emelianenko. Tito Ortiz lost his last fight by an inverted triangle choke at Bellator MMA and Dynamite 1 against Liam Maguire for the Bellator light heavyweight title. Japanese MMA promotion Rizin has shown massive interest in signing Wanderlei Silva. Rumours are that they hope to sign him and set up a match with Fedor Emelianenko. Cuban wrestling standout Michel Batista, who beat current UFC light heavyweight champion Daniel Cormier at the Pan American Championships in 2007, wants to fight him in an MMA fight. He is currently 1-0 in his mixed martial arts career. UFC heavyweight Derek Lewis has called out Roy Nelson on Twitter, saying that it will be a fun fight for the fans to see. Roy Nelson accepted Derek Lewis's offer to fight, so now it's up to the UFC to make this fight happen. UFC heavyweight Konstantin Erokin has tested positive for a banned substance. He has been temporarily suspended by the Nevada Athletic State Commission and is no longer with the UFC. He recently lost his fight against Gabriel Gonzaga at the Ultimate Fighter 22 finale. The UFC has released Scott Jorgensen, George Roop and Yui Chul Nam. All three men are coming off losing records. UFC flyweight Joseph Benavidez has confirmed that he has left Team Alpha Male and joined TJ Dillashaw at Team Fight Elevation. Matt Brown wants a rematch with Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Matt Brown defeated Stephen Thompson by unanimous decision at UFC 145, giving him his only loss. Tyron Woodley says Stephen Wonderboy Thompson isn't ready for a title shot. UFC light heavyweight contender Alexander Gustafsson says he's having a hard time getting motivated. Uriah Faber plans on retiring if he beats Dominic Cruz for the title. Anthony Pettis vs Nate Diaz has been rumoured for April. Fights announced this week. Justin Scoggins vs Ben Nguyen and Rin Nakai vs Leslie Smith has been announced for UFC Fight Night Hunt vs Mir. Trevor Whittaker vs Rafael Natal and Clint Hester vs Marcos Rogerio de Lima has been announced for UFC 197. Instagram posts of the week.
One second. Push it right here. Fuck everybody. Win the fight. Be a legend.
Thank you for watching this week's weekly MMA recap. If you liked this video, please hit that like button. And if you want to see more videos like this, please hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for next week's MMA release. Thank you.